calling back. We're going to try to give her a call again, and then she just added another phone number to the 13-year-old grandson who's possibly with the daughter. Step out with this.
2412.
Veteran crisis hotline's calling in, so they have a female veteran off her medication. She's over at the safe haven. Detective 12, we'll check that one out.
6 Rumble, 2 1 star, 50 shots.
Also still stands for talk? No. Offender in custody?
Thank you for joining, everybody. This is the members only episode 2 subscriber re-air for you today. Hashtag justice for Micah. And thank you all for joining. I'll be chilling and chatting with you all, guys. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for hopping in. Sorry I had to bump back the time a little bit for those of you that are watching on this members only live, because this will be members only, and then I'll explain later with the schedule when it comes to this. Got done talking to everybody, and I think I had some good advice when it comes to what they feel is best. So I want to say thank you for hopping in. Appreciate you for being members. And please hit the like if you haven't yet. Now, I want to say I do apologize for being a little late. When it comes to community, I'm all about community. And I wanted to go. I was really getting ready to, I got done doing my work. And then I was getting ready to just do a couple minutes of prep real quick. And then do what I needed to do to get ready for the show. And then I saw JLR and Magnolia were on. So I wanted to, go support the community over there because they do an amazing job bringing awareness to all these cases. So I wanted to make sure I took some time just to go show some support over there. Also, I do have some great news for episode 3. If you all were here with us in the first episode, by the way, if this is the first episode you're checking out, you'll definitely want to go watch episode number 1 first before you even watch this one, and you'll understand why. But when it comes to episode 3, the finale that I'm going to be going through, shout out to Rudy A, the gentleman that was in the video where we covered part of it in the episode 1. He's going to be joining us for the show on Saturday. I'm not sure exactly what time Saturday. We're going to still kind of figure out the schedules or whatever. But just let you know that finale episode 3, that I'm going to be breaking down the stuff I was already going to be breaking down. I'm going to be joined by a special guest, Rudy A. So if you're not familiar, at Rude Advice is his channel. Shout out to him and thank him for his comfort and wanting to do the community thing. I think it's going to be an extra touch to the episode when it comes to the finale. Now, when it comes to the schedule of how we're going to be putting it out for the public. So what I'm going to do is on Saturday, we're going to have the finale episode 3. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-air it, episode 1 on Sunday. Then I'm going to re-air episode 2 Monday night. And then I'm going to re-air episode 3 Tuesday night. And so each night we'll all be able to, as we have been together, watch it, as we're watching this, and we'll continue. We'll also get to sit down with the whole community and be able to discuss in a live chat. So that way we can all have the conversation together. All of us members that are being shown this stuff. And then also the awareness that we can bring to the community as a whole. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be just me. It's going to be a community. And I think that's the best way to do it. And, with the advice that I got, from females and victims of domestic violence on how I should approach this situation when it comes to this. Because they have more awareness than I do when it comes to this situation. And I want to make sure that I do it right. And so with their advice, that's how we're going to do it when it comes to the schedule of, putting it out there for everybody. Let me see. We got a bunch of screenshots to go through today. So in episode 1, we saw a whole lot of screenshots going through, and I know it was hard to see on the screen just because obviously. But also some of them were going kind of quick, and so what I did is I went ahead and screenshotted all of the stuff that was being shown on there. That way, you guys could see everything that was actually being typed. Okay. Let me see here. So I covered that, and that. So, right. Also, we're going to be checking out, I have to see, because I just came across their channel just recently when I came across all this stuff. This is 44 in 1. If you've ever heard of that channel, I'm going to be dropping that channel's link for you, and we're going to be checking that out too after we check out these screenshots. Now, episode 3 is going to be where I'm breaking down and I'm showing you the smoke. I'm showing you the confetti, just like I break down all of these interviews and the people and all of this stuff. I'm going to be breaking down that too, because literally after I found all this news out that I found out, I was looking at the conversation. Like I said in episode 1, you definitely got to check out the intro and where I'm coming from and why I'm doing what I'm doing in episode 1 in the beginning. We're just doing it a certain way. And when I came across this, I kind of started looking at the conversation that was being shown without the confetti and smoke. Because when I got exposed to the confetti and smoke, I blew through the confetti and smoke. And as I'm, like I said, it was a few weeks where I was just, I didn't know what to do. I kept telling you guys, just research yourself. Just look at it, the conversation in a different way when it comes to the source, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And unfortunately, sorry about the background noise. Unfortunately, I just feel like maybe it's not being heard, and that's why I reached out to these people and kind of asked them, what do you think I should do? And then that's when I came up with this. So I'm going to be breaking that down for you. And I can't wait to have a special guest, Rudy A, as well. It's going to be cool. All right. I want to say what's up to everybody, and then we will get into the stuff today. Pam number 4. I don't know. It must have cut off some. Oh, nope. Here we go. Sonia number 5. I apologize for bumping it back. But it's community. We're going to have a guest on, and I wanted to go support JLR and Magnolia too. They do an amazing job. Number 2. SOC Rebel 7, thank you all. Chris, number 9, thank you for becoming a member here recently. What's up, Jennifer? My peach is... And thank you all for the love out there in the community, Steph, thank you very much. There's like how long is that little section, Steph? Just give me an idea. But I'm going to show you a little bit of it before we get into the screenshots of the messages that were on there. Number 11, thank you very much. She's a wildflower. What's up, Mary Jorie? I know I'm way back in the chat here. Tommy Jeffrey Davis, what's up? But I want to say hi to everybody. Karen, Fly Girl, and thank you all for being a member. It really means everything to me. BuzzMe16, if y'all didn't see it, JP's alibi is torn to shreds, y'all. It's torn to shreds. And it goes deeper. So anybody if anybody's asking, I don't know, I haven't seen in chat. If anybody's asking, it's already been turned in. It was turned in already. Probably before you woke up. Okay? So, it was already turned in. Trust me. Torn to shreds. What's up, Under the Mystic Moon? Wide open, bro. Busby, I wish I had you and Narc Divers here, man. I'm telling you, because Lumber River State Park, bro. I wish I had you in Narc Divers, bro. Lumber River State Park. Carla, what's up? I was just thinking that like literally an hour ago, bro. I was like, man, I wish I had Busby and Narc Divers out here, man. Tiffany, what's up? What's up? Steph, thank you. We're wearing pink because it's Wednesday. One of those hot dog steaks created that. So I was like, oh, you wear pink on Wednesday, hot dog steak? Okay. I'll wear pink on Wednesday too. Pink. Maybe 15 seconds. Beautiful. That's all I really care to hear. You know what I'm saying? And Steph, thank you very much because I know it was hard for you too. I know it was hard for you too. I appreciate that so much. Debbie, thank you. Unapologetically. Hello to you. The math. Bro, I was like, seriously, like an hour ago because I still haven't. Listen, all the work that I came here to do right now in this last week, I literally have not been able to get to 1 minute of it. I've just been bombarded with conversations and meetings and all this stuff. So I do apologize if I'm late on some stuff. I do apologize. It's just I haven't even been able to do anything that I even planned to come here. Or the week before. It's just, and it's not a bad thing because you know what? To me, community, reach out to me. You know what I'm saying? I will sit, we'll talk. You know what I mean? So that's more important. You know, being here for the community, a ear, a hand, whatever they need at any moment that they need it. You know what I'm saying? And that is why I really appreciate you being members. Because the memberships, they really help me be able to do what I'm doing. Because when it comes to YouTube and especially the conversation that we're talking about when it comes to Micah's awareness, there's a lot of keywords in these videos that I literally only get like $12 for 4 hours of work. And so the memberships really, really, really mean everything because the memberships and the contributions really help me be able to be here for the community on their time. You know what I'm saying? On my dime, on their time for the community. And so without you, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. I wouldn't be able to be here. I wouldn't be able to be there for them. And really, it totally means the world to me that you are here with us today. For real. It means everything. Oh, hold on 1 second. Yes. That's right. I apologize. Right here. Oh, yeah, I called it out last night, Jennifer. Yeah, I shouted you out last night. Yeah. Thank you very much. Shout out Jennifer P. $5 cash app. Appreciate you. Yeah, we got you in the shout out last night. Thank you for your kind words. I appreciate it. All right. Tonight, we're going to be having another show. We're going to be doing more on the 911 call. We're going to be doing a voice comparison of Micah because I've always said that both of the 911 calls, the one that we just put out there, shout out ET, shout out Ann, appreciate you so much. We just put that out there a couple days ago. We're going to be going through that 911 call. We're also going to be going through the 911 call for Micah because me and Ann have discussed it a little bit, and I think I'm on a little bit over here, and she's on a little bit over here, and I want to talk about it because I also want to use some other sound clips to compare it, and I think we'll both. This is what I'm saying. I think that we will both have a awesome point of view when it comes to why I'm on here a little bit and she's on here a little bit. And I think everybody's going to be like, yo, right? Typically unique contribution call out to you as well. Hold on 1 second. Thank you for becoming, man, a whole year. That's crazy, right? And shout out to you and your husband. You guys do an amazing job. She has a channel too. Hold on, I'm not at the studio, so here we go, right here. If you're not subscribed, I'll drop these couple links here. If you're not subscribed to Typically Unique, here's the link to her channel, her and her husband. I gotta have you guys on a show again here soon. I miss everybody that used to be kicking it, up here with me from time to time. I miss all you guys, I really do. We need to have a night where it's just all of the OGs, typically, all of the OGs. We need to. Yoli, Rosie, you. Be awesome. I miss you guys. But there's nothing new with Idaho 4, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, that's another case, you guys. If you aren't familiar with Idaho 4, go check out my Idaho 4 content. Because, that's somebody I feel like's being charged with a death penalty that had nothing to do with that crime, y'all. And when I came across the drone footage and I showed you guys the DNA dirty glove, you know what? Give me 1 second. Let me get that link for y'all so you can go check this out. It's ridiculous. Whoops. I didn't realize my sound was on. Look at that, you guys. If you haven't seen that, the DNA dirty gloves and whatever else was outside of the crime scene. And they're using 21 skin cells to charge somebody with a DP. And they're trying to charge somebody with the DP off of a sheath. And I'll drop that video too real quick. And that could tell you why the dude's 21 skin cells were where they were at. Just saying. All right. We're going to check out this small part here for this video. Now, it's just going to be audio, okay? It's just going to be audio. So let me flip this around. We're just going to be playing the audio for the time being. I'm going to mute the music. And I'm going to change. Now, you know what? Let's keep the music, but we'll keep the sound where it needs to be. All right. All right. Now, this is just shout out, Steph. Appreciate you. This is just, what's up, Yoli? This is just a small little portion. And like I said, part 3, I'm going to be breaking it all down for you. This is just a small snippet. Now, when it comes to, let me blow this up real quick. I want people to understand this. When it comes to doing the work that I'm doing, and I want to show you guys the difference. When it comes to me doing the work that I'm doing, and what the contributions mean to me, right? Have I ever asked one of you that you needed to contribute in order for me to do something for you? What I do is I take the contributions and it goes into my fund to do everything that I'm doing. So whatever it costs for me to do what I'm doing, I just go in there. Now, does it fluctuate? Yes. Does it get scary sometimes? Yes. Have I had to go into my own? Yes. Yes. Have I ever once during this time, because none of you guys know, I was going through a rough period about 2 months ago where I was literally like almost having to be done and just hang at home. Like, that's how close it got. Did I ever once during that time period say y'all needed to do a super chat in order for me to answer your questions? No, it's free. Did I say y'all need to, even when I was like, I don't know what the hell's I'm going to do here, I had to really think long and hard. And because of your support, I've bounced back a little bit where it's like, okay, it's not so scary. And shout out to you. I appreciate you all so much. But I have never once sat there and said you needed to pay something in order for you to get something from me. Now, even with these members' lives, yes, they're member lives right now, but they're going to be put out there to the public too. It's disgusting. And when you can listen, you can go see it for yourself. And it has to do with the wolf among sheeps, people. And this is what I'm saying. This stuff that we've been watching gets the support like their boots on the ground when all they do is get their news from Fitz News and Facebook and people that are manipulated. You can see it for yourself. I don't care to watch it anymore. That's why I shout out Steph. I appreciate you doing it for me because I can't even. It's going to be hard, letting you guys hear this small clip of stuff that I'm going to be breaking the F down in episode 3. It's crazy. And I already know the flying monkeys, like Ann says, the flying monkeys, they've already came around. They came around in episode 1, 2/3 of the way when we were doing the members live. And they already started coming in chat. And I guarantee you some of them are members because they want to see before it goes to the public. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you trolls too for becoming a member. Because it's the more awareness. Hey, troll, become aware. Just like we're trying to make these people outside Solid Rock or inside Solid Rock, we're trying to help them understand, right? Go ahead, troll. Watch it. You might learn something. You might learn something. And then come be peaceful, positive, and progressive over here, and it's all love. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's about. It's about peace, positivity, and progress, doing the right thing the right way, being about it, and stepping up. All right, we're going to check it out here. Hold on. Let me get the audio thing back up. Episode 3 will be Saturday, y'all. I'll let you know. I'll make a community post. I'll make a community post when I get the time confirmed for Saturday. I'm going to leave it up to my guest, Ruby. So it's going to be... I can't play just a few seconds here. Let me get to like I said, breakdown episode 3, and I can't wait. I can't wait to hear what Rudy has to say when I break it down. Right? That's gonna be fun.
A super chat. I will answer your questions. A small donation that really helps me. That helps me.
Interesting. You get your news from Fitz News, because just wait, Fitz News. Check this out. The 911 call. The 911 call's been out now. Guess what? Fitz News Watch News Nation interview. Guess what? Fitz News is going to be opening their own investigation into it. So guess what? When it comes to the timeline of when news comes out, go to Fitz News and then see what comes out after that, okay? I'm just saying. But who needs donations to answer questions when I'm out here boots on the ground, bro? I'm not stealing from Fitz News. I'm talking to people that are really here.
A super chat. I will answer your questions. A small donation that really helps me. That helps me keep going. Or if you want to just give just for fun, because you feel bad for my wife, that would be
because you feel bad.
Don't feel
for
bad.
My wife.
She's amazing. She is an amazing supporter of what I do. Keep hitting the like.
Did you guys just hear? Did you guys just hear that? Did you all just hear that?
A super chat. I will answer your questions. A small donation that really helps me. That helps me keep going. Or if you want to just give just for fun, because you feel bad for my wife, that would be
You didn't just see the screen? Oh, I'm sorry, Tiffany. I'm sorry, Tiffany. All right, one more time. I'll let y'all hear it one more time. Not my words. Not my words. Like I said, episode 3, breaking it down, and it's going to be a lot more than just 25 seconds.
a super chat. I will answer your questions.
Maybe back up a couple more seconds than that. All right.
Called someone and asked them, what should she do? So I wouldn't look too deep into that. Again, if you got a super chat, I will answer your questions. A small donation that really helps me. That helps me keep going. Or if you want to just give just for fun, because you feel bad for my wife, that would be don't feel bad. She's
I wish I had the opportunities like some people, that I can spread more peace and love on this world. That I could spread more peace and love on this world, and instead of being worried about this. So there's that. All right, hold on one second. Let's go here, and we're gonna start with some of these, okay? Now, like I said, the The screenshots were going so quick. What I did is I took time. I don't even know how many. There's 6, 15, 30, 45, 60, 70, I think, that we'll go through. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. I'm not asking anybody to not support or not be a sub or anything like that. That's not what I'm about. I'm just trying to give you the information that I came across. And when it comes to somebody that cares so much about Micah, her family, the community, the victims, it makes you go. It makes you do. It's like a soul reflection moment, you know? And you're like, I just came across this. What do I do with it? And how do I present it? And how do I discuss it and talk about it? That's all I'm here for. So this is Rudy A. Shout out Rudy A. We're going to be having him on the show coming up on Saturday for the finale. Rudy A. responded to the RH official. That's not what I did. If you did your research, you'd see I blamed myself and took full responsibility. Remember when he twisted the video that we watched the story? Shout out to him. Shout out to Anne for her story too, right? Shout out to Anne and her husband. DRH responds, there's no but. There's no but. If you take full responsibility, send your ex-wife my info. I'll share her story next. No, I am talking to you. Talk directly to me so I can prove how wrong you got this, or you can flake out. I'm here. Let's do this. Keep in mind, I was very respectful with my video response to you. You're the one that went insults. You're the one that called me out, so here I am. Now you don't want to talk figures. Then some of the comments and hate that he was getting. And I do have a lot of them to go through, so you can always come back and take screenshots, because I will have them all kind of right. Just showing you some of this stuff. And I'll kind of move the same speed. Like I said, there's like 70. So, and there's other stuff that I want to make sure that I can get into with you guys before we're done with episode 2. So I don't have to keep you busy all afternoon, because we do have a show tonight. We're going to be getting into some more stuff. Voice comparisons and everything. Now, I've already went through these as I was working on them, taking the shots. I'm just allowing you guys to see. Still a Conversation with Rudy A. Shout out to him. He'll be on the show Saturday. Members only. Wow. Isn't this crazy? Now you'll see her photo too. And some of these are blocked, you know. Oops, I might have taken 2 copies thinking that. Oh no, this is a different. There might be a duplicate here and there. I was trying to hurry up. Absolutely. Welcome it. There we go. Just like I'm saying, right, Rudy? I'm only standing up for a woman's story. Isn't that what you claim to do, right, people? Right? Free therapy codes. Wow. I'm sorry, some of them are a little blurry. But you can, you can pretty much read what it says. And this is everything that Rudy A was talking about in the video. I'll share the link with that video here. Let me get the link for that for you guys real quick. So here's the video. And this is at Root Advice. There's the video if you guys want to hear. He actually talks, what's being said. I wanted to show you guys too. Some stuff did get talked about, most of it actually. That's why I showed you. Oh, there's a duplicate. Okay, there we go. Thank you, everybody, for hopping in, and thank you for being members. Appreciate you. What's up, everybody? If you're just joining in, you'll just like the first episode, you'll definitely want to go to the beginning. Also, if you're just joining and became a new member, definitely check out episode 1 first from the intro, because I have a special message. And in this one too, in the intro. I'm just letting y'all read these 70 screenshots. And then we're going to go into some more of what I came across. And then episode 3, we're going to be breaking down that little clip that I just showed you a little bit ago. We're going to be going into, we're going to be breaking it down. I'm going to show you where I'm coming from in both of these intros the last couple days here, or a couple shows. $220 a day. $1,700 on Tuesday. I would love to be able to $3,000 in a day, and I'm making $12 for a freaking YouTube video. Just wait. There's more. You got to send a super chat in order to get your question answered. Y'all, I make $12 to $50 on a YouTube video. If there's no words that are create issues for advertisers, then I get like $50. And if talking, suicide and all these crazy words, literally, you should see all the limited to no revenue on each of my shows. It's like $12. And this dude's bragging about wow, 3 to 4 million. Wow. Oh my gosh. That's one thing y'all never see a photo of me in one of those places or even outside of one, because I know there was a business meeting and they took me out to dinner down in Dallas, Texas. I had a business meeting in Dallas, Texas. They were like, hey, we'll take you out to dinner at one of the best spots, 5-star chef. I was like, cool. So I got in their vehicle. We went out there for the business dinner meeting, and I was like, are you fucking serious? And this is when I was married, y'all. This was back in the day when I was married. And I'm sitting there going, dude, I don't even want to fucking be in this place. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Not that is, to each their own, you know what I mean? But I don't even, like, I don't know. Just like OnlyFans, you know what I mean? There's like, it's the same way the other way around too. No, I'll never have one of those. Hell no. It's the same way around. It's something I would never do, and I just don't go to those things. I don't know, Tiffany. It was in Dallas, and they told me that's where they get Cowboys cheerleaders at. And there was like a 5-star chef. I think it was called the Gentleman's Club or something. I don't know. We rolled in like a Hummer when the Hummers just came out. We rolled in like a Hummer, and it was crazy. Velvet ceilings, and it was nuts. It was nuts. I was like, what the hell did you bring me to? What the hell did you bring me to? Yeah, I was uncomfortable, especially being married, because that's the last place. If I'm married, that's the last. I wouldn't even. Mm-mm. No, if I need some, I'll go home and like screw the. That's a me and a wife thing. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Okay. I don't know. I was just like, yo, gosh, when was this? 2000. This was in 2003, because the Dallas Cowboys bought. I ran a program for a medical company that I worked for back in the day. I ran a maintenance program for the United States, Mexico, and Canada, and the Dallas Cowboys bought one of our medical equipment, and I got to go down there for a business trip. It was pretty sweet. Got to tour the Cowboys, the old stadium, Texas Stadium. Got to tour that. Went down where JFK stuff took place. That was crazy. Driving by the grassy knoll and the school book depository. It was a pretty eventful trip. Oh, wow. Whoa. What is that? All right, you guys can see it. Some crazy stuff being typed there. Like I said, you want to go from the beginning, and then there's so many of these. I'm just kind of scrolling through them as I read them, like you would be reading them. And then if you need to, these are zoomed in, so you can get any of the screenshots you need to when it comes to this. Now, some of them, because of TikTok, some of them are cut off because the person's on the camera, as you can see. Sometimes you'll see the same screenshot because the person moved on the camera, so it allowed me to see other parts of the paragraph that were covered up from them being on camera. So that's why you'll see some of them as a duplicate, but it's showing different parts of the paragraph. I always wanted to be a sports broadcaster. Yeah, I did too when it comes to this comment. I did too. If y'all know the story. I didn't end up this way. 98.2%. I am too. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I read it. I'm not. Just the chest. Not the back. Or the neck. See, sometimes she covers it up. Oh, wow. No, Cosmo. No. Going to make you. Not. I'm going to be in New York. Screw that. Screw that, because your wife's at home. But besides that, wife's at home. Going to make you. What about, are you going to be in the area and would you like to? Been once before. Oh, that was before the Minnesota stuff. Yeah, these are from TikTok. I had to take screenshots. Oh, well, that's cool that you had one, Mr. RH. That's nice. Yeah, we're just going through a bunch. And then I think I took a few of these because she kind of moves a little bit more. And I was like, ooh, I think this one shows a little bit more. So there might be the duplicate again. But I'll leave that up there for a second just in case it's not. Yeah, please. Can I have... All right, so this is another one. I don't know if it shows any more of that last message or not. Probably privacy of the victim, because the victim wasn't about what he was trying to conversate with. So a lot of the times when you see the sexual stuff that was being typed, the person got so uncomfortable they didn't know how to respond. So they just would change the conversation or whatever. But there's that. And we'll be having him on as a special guest on episode 3. And then, so here's this as well. That girl bop. Oh, she's from Geneva? Is she from Geneva? Oh, you did more than do that, dude. You knew what you were doing. That's why you edit it and say things the way that you do. And you know he's going to be coming after me too. Y'all know that, right? But it's one of these things where it's like, you know what? This is for Micah. This is for domestic violence victims. This is for females. This is for... I mean, you see what he's saying in these posts. You see what I'm saying? Well, I'm outside, Sonia. I apologize. When I'm outside, this is part of being here for the community, and I have to do my shows like this sometimes, so I apologize. I'm just thankful for an opportunity. You know, I'm not worried about background noise. I'm just thankful that we all get to be here today and share this information. And I could do studio shows all the time for the best audio quality, but unfortunately that wouldn't allow me to be here on location. So I'm doing the best that I can do. I apologize. I think it's a beautiful sound, honestly. I think nature and being outside and, I think it's a beautiful sound. I need to mute it, you guys. Let me know. I was going to read it all in the RH voice for you guys, but then I'd probably creep myself out too. Because anytime I say it, people are like, oh my gosh, that is spot on. Again, I'm just reading them like you'd be reading them. This is so crazy reading this stuff, you know? Create a forum. Wow. Asked her to help him create a forum for abused women. So you didn't even have to reach out. You could have somebody, what, like what's Epstein's sidekick? Hey, you want to be my Epstein sidekick? The Epstein? That's what I'm going to call him from now on. I'll just refer to him as Robbie Epstein. For real. Just look at some of this stuff, man. It's gross. Here's some of it that's it. You can see more of it. There we go. What? Of his wife. Wow. Oh, that one shows more of it. There you go. Like I said, some of them were kind of duplicates because I would see she would move a little bit and I'm like, ooh, I think I can get a little more. Oh yeah, it is for dramatics. That's why there's church music in the background during the videos. You're like, oh my gosh. What do you think? What do you think JP does? What do you think JP does? It's the same thing, you guys. Oh. Now that's crazy. That's something we're going to get into a regular show in the future. This whole Alan Kasanoff stuff. Look at this right here. This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is what is going to come in my direction just for even discussing this stuff. The misinfo sheep trolls coming like crazy. Yeah, if JP wasn't running the church, I wouldn't be surprised if this dude starts his own church. Oh. Well, that's the difference with me, Miss Cosmo. Obviously, other content creators are always competition, but I don't look at it as competition. I look at it as like with everything that I do. Whether I'm sharing a channel on my show, I have guests on the panel. I pay extra so nobody has to have commercials. So people on platforms that join the show can stream to their channels too. I go into other communities like I did today. Shout out JLR and Magnolia. I bumped back the members live just because I wanted to make sure I came and supported over there. It's always about community. Even though people are competition, it's always about community because we can do things more and better and effectively when we are a community. So, how about we all go to the same party at the same time, right? Who wants to be at a party all by themselves? And when you're doing it for the right thing and you're helping communities and people, they get to go to the party too. You know what I mean? Let's have the most people we can have. What's going on? How can... Oh, that's the last one. All right. It is about community. That's why I was like, you know what? This is a members live, but I wanted to make sure. I saw a lot of you in there, and I appreciate you going in there to support because look, he was live. Let's bring awareness for Micah, and let's go support. We can do this stuff, you know, whenever. Let's go support Micah. He was live. Let's go support it. Bring more awareness for Micah. We can come back and kick it on the couch and chill for a little while, you know, after that. And that's what it's about. That's why thank you so much for everybody I see in here today that was in his live as I was bumping it back. I appreciate you. All right. So we're going to check out this episode now. Okay. If you want to listen to everything that was being said, this is Rudy A. We're going to be having him on the show Saturday as a special guest as I break down the breakdown of all. And if you want to see what I'm talking about, I will again play the clip for you guys so you can hear just some of the foolery. This is just 25 seconds, but I'm going to break down a couple hours, 2-3 hours. I'm going to be breaking down for you coming up on episode 3. So I'm going to throw the audio up there. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and this is so-and-so. And I'll hit play so you can see. But listen to this.
As soon as she showed up, she called someone and asked them, what should she do? So I wouldn't look too deep into that. Again, if you got a super chat, I will answer your questions. A small donation that really helps me. That helps me keep going. Or if you want to just give just for fun because you feel bad for my wife, that would be. Don't feel bad. She's amazing.
Just saying. All right, we're gonna switch to this episode. This is 44 and 1. It's a podcast. Definitely go sub if you're not. Here's the link to the video that we're going to check out in this part of the show. So here's the link. Go show some love. Hit the like. Put a trophy or a heart in chat. And go check this out. Now, this is the full breakdown of Robbie Epstein. And this is something I also came across that day doing my prep a few weeks ago. And I was like, oh, gosh, this too. So we're gonna check that out. I'll drop the channel handle in chat here in a second.
So,
What are we doing today, Tempest?
yeah, well, if you're in the world of TikTok, you'll know that the TikTok drama train is going through TikTok Station 1 all over again. But
That
this
was
time,
the worst analogy.
yeah. Yeah, well, I'm not very good at analogies. I'm autistic.
You know what? Own it. Own it.
Yeah, no, we're shit at analogies and metaphors. But this time it's for a good reason, because the guy's a dick. But
You called it a while ago.
I did, yeah, about 3 or 4 months ago. I think.
Mhm. Who are we
Yeah.
talking about?
Robbie Harvey. No, wait. The Robbie Harvey.
Yes. As soon as anyone puts "the" in their name, you know. You know.
Yeah.
Sorry, The Weeknd, but
The Dago.
I don't know you personally.
The
but I
Dago.
can't.
Oh, the best bit that's come out of all of this, though, before we get into the actual drama, is that he, for some reason, he gave up the username of the Robbie Harvey, right?
Did he give it up or did he lose it? Like someone said he lost it.
Well, we don't know. TikTok, we don't know if TikTok took it away or if he accidentally gave it up or anything. We don't know on that. All we know is that he wasn't hacked. That's the only thing that we know. Or that the person that the best bit is that somebody stole it. Basically, it was 6:45 in the morning. She says she woke up and then saw that the Robbie Harvey, his username was now user and a bunch of letters and numbers, right? And it just, she was like, fuck yes. And then got one of her burner accounts and changed it all to the Robbie Harvey. And then now uses it to raise awareness.
There's a ton of them, though. Like when you search Robbie Harvey, there's a ton of Robbie Harvey usernames now.
Yeah. But this one is like, it's his that she's got is the Robbie Harvey.
Let's backtrack for anybody who doesn't know who Robbie Harvey is. Why? He's got 3 million followers on TikTok. He is a self-proclaimed, self-diagnosed narcissist and terrible husband who is now reformed from being a terrible husband, his words. His wife was going through cancer treatments and he started making videos. I first saw him when very early days on TikTok, and his whole shtick then was reading terrible things men had said to their wives when they found out that they had been ill or when they'd had a miscarriage. He's got very dramatic facial expressions, really melodramatic music, intensely empathetic facial expressions. And
I'm telling you, I'm going to show you I'm going to break it down. Watch. I'm going to break it down and show y'all.
That was how he gained
Episode
most of his
3.
following. Those are the only videos of his I've seen until this recent drama.
Yeah.
But he has made other videos where perhaps he's not as reformed a terrible guy as he thinks he is.
Well, what I said in my rebuttal of him, because I'd seen him a few times, spatterings of, because I talk about sex offenders, so his content gets related to that. And yeah, I saw that kind of stuff that you were just describing. But it was one particular video which kind of got to me, which was when he was talking about Crowder, okay? And then he was talking to abusive husbands. And the thing is like he sets up his content that he is supposed to be a reformed abusive husband who is talking to other men who are at different levels of abusive towards their partners. And he's supposed to be talking to them to help them reform. But his video about the Steven Crowder stuff was just, it was petulant, whiny, it was condescending, he was aggressive. And it's like all the things that you don't want to be if you're trying to help a group of people realize the error of their ways. And I was just like, what this guy has done is that he's claiming that he's not an abusive person anymore. No, all he has done is change the target group of who he abuses.
But he is still, there was a video that he made where he was talking about how he snapped at his wife and that it's okay to snap sometimes as long as you apologize. But the way he snapped, he's like, I said to my wife, I can't remember the exact wording, but it was kind of like, no, we're not going to do that. Do you understand me? And like the language he used is not the language of snapping.
No.
And then when he talked about it's okay to snap as long as you apologize, like that's abusive behavior 101.
Yeah.
You treat them like shit and then you love bomb them so that they forgive you and they keep coming back. Like he's not reformed. He's just not as terrible to his wife as he used to be.
And he's training other people on how to be abusive. Like one of his bits of advice to women was that if you have a husband or partner who is hitting you, you need to work with them to help them out of it. And that like you have to basically give them a chance to try and help them.
No.
You
That's,
run.
no, that's terrible
Run.
advice.
It's-
Oh my gosh,
run.
that is
Yeah.
that's advice for the men. That's
Yeah.
to remain abusive. Like, how would he think that that's okay to say no? Like, the wording of it, the way he's trying to position it. Like, it wasn't that long ago. We were seeing that other video of that guy who, on a podcast, when women asked, like, if women are in an abusive relationship, what should they do? And he was like, endure.
Yeah.
He's just saying the exact same thing, but he's trying to make it sound like in the guise of helping your partner through something.
That endure guy, I think his username or like his persona is MLD, Mike Lima Delta. I don't know what
Major
it stands
League
for.
douche is what
Yeah,
it is,
yeah.
actually.
Yeah. But that he's the one who's telling women to endure through the domestic violence. He got arrested and charged for bottling a woman in Japan for turning him down.
Wow.
He's,
wow.
This is
Clearly-
the kind of group they're all part of.
Wow. Wow. What's up, Kylie?
Yeah, but the thing about, I think what makes Robbie Harvey so insidious is that he doesn't think he's in that group.
Yeah.
He's trying to protect women from that group by
I'm
telling
talking
them to
about,
stay
like-
with men in that group.
This is what I'm saying, and he's talking about Micah. How JP's such a horrible guy.
And trying to get them to work through their issues.
Love them out of it. No. If your partner raises a hand to you and connects, then you leave that relationship. That guy is lost.
Yes.
He's already lost the battle. And
It's unfortunate how many times like I see women on Reddit in like relationship advice forums being like, my husband or my boyfriend, my partner, we were in a heated fight and he choked me and I don't know what to do now. And like glaringly everybody in the comments is of course telling them to leave, but then it's especially more important to leave if choking is a thing, because that's like a major predictor to like if your partner chokes you, that's like the sign that they're going to escalate into like murdering you.
And even though like it won't always escalate, like, but it's not worth the fucking risk.
No, it's a pretty good predictor that that's going to happen. I mean, they're already they already have no qualms about laying their hands on you. It's not like they're going to be like, oh, where did that come from? That was terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you do what Robbie Harvey does and just work them through it.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. So here's well, look, hang on. We'll show people what we're talking about. So we've got a clip here, and then this is him reading men's comments about intimacy.
And this is he's particularly proud of this one because it's pinned on his profile. So it's not just a random video. This is a pinned, like he recorded it, put it up there, and then was like, "Yeah, Robbie,
Yeah,
you
that was
did
a
it.
good one,
You did
Robbie
it,
boy.
mate. Let's
Yeah.
let's pin that one."
Bitches, I love this one.
This is what men have said to women about intimacy. You knew what you were signing up for. Now be quiet and let me finish. When you tell me no, I don't know if you're being serious or not. I was 6 weeks postpartum when my husband said, "I've waited long enough. I won't take no for an answer." It wasn't my fault. You know I can't
You hear the frickin' church music, y'all?
control myself. I only did this because I needed to know.
Like there's angels
If I
floating in
still
the air
loved
and
you.
shit.
I had just found out that I had a miscarriage. When I got home,
Do you hear the confetti in your fucking ears? Do you hear the confetti? It's not it's blowing in front. You can hear it. It engulfs your soul.
wasn't enough reason for him to stop. You're mine. I can use you however I choose to. I'm sorry, but you shouldn't have told me no. Look, if you're a man coming into my comments and complaining that I'm not paying you enough attention, that I'm just paying attention to the women and what they go through, and I should be paying attention to you, get over yourself. Look at the comments. Look at the stories that these women are sharing. Look at how many women are telling what they've, get how many women are saying, I've heard that comment, I've heard that comment, I've heard all of these comments. This channel is, and if you don't think we've got a problem in this country, in this world, you're too full of yourself.
Who the fuck are you?
You're too caught up in your emotions.
Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are
After
you?
hearing what I empathy.
Well,
He's still, even though he's trying to come across like he's talking to men, he's still not talking to men. He's trying to, the impression that I'm left with is that he's still trying to get women to be like, yeah, you tell him, Robbie, because at no point does he
Exactly.
actually lead with anything actionable.
Exactly.
Full stop. If he really wanted to men, he would be saying, this is to do. These are the actions you need to take. This is what the steps you need to
Oof.
do to get over this. Not just, you should have empathy. And even him, like, is so forced and almost cartoonish.
yeah.
The way he purses his lips, it almost looks like he's trying to bite back a laugh. Like, I know that's probably
No,
not it.
it looked like you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Like, all of his anger's fake, and he's concealing a smirk most of the time.
It's trauma. Like, that's,
Yeah.
I think a part of him kind of,
Enjoys it?
yeah, a little bit. Like, it's all, I'm not a psychologist, nor do I play one on TV, but it almost feels like he's living vicariously through these men. Like, they're saying the things that he can't say. Like, he can't, because how many videos do you need of this without actually? And a lot of the women who are backing him up because he says he's amplifying voices and he's saying the things I've said to him or put into his comments. So he's reading those comments, but it's not actually helping anyone.
No.
It's not giving anybody a call to action or next steps. It's just out there.
It's exactly what they do in the news, isn't it? They just report about how shit things are without any direction of what's being done to move forward. And that is all he's doing. Like, if you really want to
Right.
help-
And then use in Facebook and people he's manipulated already into sending him information, and it's obvious who they are. Making it seem like he works for the FBI and he knows things that we don't, and he can answer your questions about the investigation.
men, and also, like, if you want to help men deal with their issues better and you want to stop women getting abused, then you actually need to implement something, give them a way forward, show them how to be different. Don't just go, I'm fucking wonderful because I do the bare minimum and don't hit my wife now, and then you've all got to fucking do the same. It's like, no, it's not that easy, dude. Like,
It's like, even if all he did was at the end post the phone numbers for, like, here's a domestic helplines or women's shelters or resources. If he even did the bare minimum, posting a link for resources for people.
He just says, contact me, right? Contact me. Doesn't that sound familiar? Doesn't contact me sound familiar? That's an Easter egg, y'all. Figure that one out. And I'm not talking about RH. When somebody keeps screaming, contact me, what Easter egg? We'll see if you guys know what I'm talking about.
Be better than just sitting in his well-lit bedroom reading these trauma stories of women. And 3 million people follow him, and vehemently, like, there are a lot of people who vehemently support him. Like, they will shit talk other women in support of him because all he does is sit there and read stories.
And this is the thing, is like, you could tell he's very practiced at what he does. and that like I can see it there. Like he admits himself he was an abusive partner, and you can see it in how he conducts his videos. Like all of the signs are there that this is an abusive, nasty man, and he's just here to manipulate you to get you to give him money. That's
what signs
all
are
this
you
is.
seeing?
Well, like, so everything about that video is to basically, it's all emotional manipulation, right? So you've got like the sad music, and then you've got the cadence of his voice, his tone, and he's doing all these fake facial expressions to show you like, oh, look how empathetic and compassionate I am. Oh, this is just, gosh darn it, this is awful. And it's all in an effort to conjure up these feelings and emotions inside of you, right? So that's why you got like the traumatic stories, like the absolute worst stories you can think of. Is cherry picked the absolute worst, and then you combine it with the tone, the cadence, and the sad music. He's generated all of that to make you feel bad about these women. And then what he's then doing is pulling all these fake facial expressions to show you, oh, look, I get it too. Look, we're on the same page.
I'm deeply
we're
affected by
simpatico.
this.
Yeah.
Deeply affected by this. But like the type of men who would say that kind of thing aren't going to stick around long enough to watch the video. So his whole big message at the end, if he really wanted to be impactful, he would have started with, men, you need to listen to this because this is the examples. Like he would have started with something instead of, by the time anybody gets to that point, those men have already scrolled on to the next video.
Yeah, just like, because they're already thinking, oh, this is just another beta cuck. What's the point of listening to him?
Yeah.
And then so he can, because men like him don't like confrontation with other men, right? And so he, that's why he's putting his aggressive stuff at the end, is because he knows they're not going to be watching by then. They've already flicked off. And so you can do all this fake aggression and like the pigeon dance.
But then by then, the women who are watching are already all fired up and angry. So then when he is pretending to speak about men, they're feeling that, yes, he's on our side.
He's standing by our side. But really, he's not shouting at anybody. He's like, he's just in a room on his own shouting at the air.
It's like those weird, like those movies when someone wants to be tough after somebody else has already hung up on the other end. And then they're like, I'll see you in hell. And they hang up. But there's nobody there. Like he's... And I mean, we've seen in other screenshots and other content about how profitable this has made him. Like there's one, we're going to show a screenshot where he says like, so far in June, we don't know, I don't know when in June that was, but so far in June, he'd already made $20,000. So he is capitalizing on, he's figured out what is going to be the most profitable. And then he is just banging out that content to just make money. And he says like it's all going to his wife's cancer treatments. And if that's true, that's fine, but you're still making hundreds of thousands only on TikTok. Like he's also got YouTube and I think Facebook and Instagram. You're still making all of this money on the backs of these women. You're not helping at all. You're not changing any men. You're not helping any of these women. You are just sharing trauma.
And he doesn't involve women in the conversation at all. Like, so we look at one of the reasons why we started this podcast, okay? Just to toot our own fucking horn for seconds, because it's hard to do better than this bloke. But we thought, oh, it would be really interesting. Not only are we different nationalities, but it's also a man and a woman. And we can talk about how we view the world as, you know, different genders, different sexes, how we might see the world differently and perceive it differently. And surely people would find that a lot more helpful and beneficial to see how we figure out our dilemmas and how we figure out the conflicts between men and women. And that would be much more helpful than sitting in front of a camera, bitch moaning and complaining.
Robbie is not giving people a different perspective, just trauma farming. He's just dumping, like, look at how shitty these other men are. Look at these women. And then he's going to tell those same women whose comments he's reading, oh, just stick it out, love him through it. Like, how does he have those same messages?
And then the big thing that's got him in trouble this time.
You know why? Why he has those same messages? Because the more trauma that a victim experiences, it breaks down their wall even more. So it makes it easier for him do what he's doing. See, keep being with the guy. I'm gonna support this, but keep being with the guy. It breaks down your wall even more, so that way it's easier for me to do what I'm gonna do.
He did a video basically berating women for their poor choices in mates.
I have a question for you women.
Yeah.
Why do you lower your standards? That's the language of an ally.
Oh, no. And anyone that calls themselves an ally could go get fucked, in my opinion, because that's gross. And like, you
I
don't
think anyone who builds their entire platform around issues that aren't their own or they don't have
a stake in it.
Yeah, I mean, like hearing women talking about women's issues, you expect that. Hearing, you know, Indigenous people talking about their issues, you expect that. But when it's like this, like, oh, I used to be a bag of shit, but now I'm less of a bag of shit. Let me tell you how I got there.
And then, assuming he has narcissistic personality disorder, but like it's self-diagnosed, so he hasn't actually been to a clinician to get that. Also, he says he's cured, right? That
There is
doesn't. No, there's no cure for NPD. Like, it's not all of them are bad people, but if you're an abusive, aggressive, angry man like he is with NPD, you're not going to change. And then, so he's told people up front, and like this is how he's tried to control the narrative. And I think that's part of why he's got the 3 million followers. He's gaslit people into thinking that NPD can be cured. And because he's gone, I've got NPD. Oh, by the way, I'm a really nice guy now. So here are all these trauma stories. You've really forgotten about all the other stuff.
And he never talks about, as far as I know, I mean, I haven't done a deep dive into his content, but as far as I know, he's not really talked about, here's how I worked through my NPD. He just said I'm cured, which is kind of like, it's like being an alcoholic, right? If you're a recovering alcoholic, you're always a recovering alcoholic. You're always battling that. With NPD, you'd always have to be doing the work. With a lot of things, you always have to be doing the work. Like I smoked for 20 years and I haven't smoked in 15, but all I know, it takes one cigarette and I'm back to a pack a day. I'm always going to be, I can't even be tempted to have that one. So, but he's never, as far as I know, spoken about, here's the work that I did to get through it. It's always just kind of like, I used to be a terrible husband, but he hasn't shared what his path was to get him out of that place.
Yeah, I think that's one of the ways that you can find out really if someone's a charlatan online, or if they're
charlatan.
They have nefarious intent in mind.
A charlatan.
Because the way that you can figure out is, okay, do they have a diverse portfolio of content, right? Or is it just monotopic? Robbie Harvey, monotopic, red flag.
Well, I did see a video recently where he was talking about how much his wife likes to have sex, which...
It's all part of the same thing, isn't it? And
but
gross.
It's, like, why? Like,
Anyway, I want to go back to these red flags.
No, sorry, go,
Right, so red flag number 1 is his monotopic, right? He doesn't talk about a diverse portfolio. The second one is his entire platform is built on someone else's pain and trauma that is specific to that group, and he's not a member of that group. Okay, so there's that.
He's contributed to the abuse of that group.
Exactly. Yeah, he's contributed to the oppression and abuse. And number 3 is that he doesn't offer any solutions or insight. And number 4 is a lot of his commentary actually runs counter to what trauma survivors and experts would say. So he's a lot of counter narrative on a lot of it. So that's the 4 things then. So he's monotopic, not from the group he's talking about. What was the other 2 I said?
What do you think the music does? What do you think the music does?
How I worded it. So he's monotopic, not from the group he's talking about, doesn't give any insights or any points to help, and his information runs counter to the accepted consensus on how to do it.
Yeah, you'd think if you wanted to, like, personally, if I was going to build my whole platform on something that I wasn't personally experiencing, I would do the research. I would do the work. I would make sure that what I put out there, I mean, fuck, even in my kick-ass facts, I do my best to fact check them. He's not even tried to do any of the research to give people things that will help them move forward or help them get out of that cycle of abuse. He's just
It
Here's
shows
the-
that there's no motivation or interest in actually resolving the situation. Or he's
he
just
doesn't
a
want to help
parasite.
anybody.
He's a
He
parasite.
doesn't want to help anybody because he's not giving anybody resources or giving them
Mm.
direction on how to get that help.
And a parasite is a good term because it just leeches off the main body and doesn't provide anything in return.
Yeah, and like think of how he's got a ton of videos where he's doing this. So he's getting all of these stories in he's getting he's got 3 million followers. He's getting thousands upon thousands of comments every day. And a vast majority of them would be women sharing their own stories. So he is reading all of that, soaking all of that in, and then being like, ooh, that's a good one. I'll save that one for my video. Like just that mindset of it. And he's been doing it for so long that if it was genuine, because I've seen other creators who are doing it genuinely, they get burnt out.
Yeah.
And you see them making a video, being like, I don't know how long I can do this for. I need a break from this because it's affecting me emotionally. And the fact that he's
See what I'm saying? That like I'm not bullshitting you guys. I work and I'm okay with it. I work my freaking ass off to do what I'm doing for you guys and for here. I work my freaking ass off. All I do is work. I was up. Well, how late was I up last night working? Was it 4 in the morning? 4:30 in the morning again? Yeah. And then I was up at what time did I get up today? 10:30? And then I started working as soon as I got up. It's real shit.
been doing this for as long as he has.
And he's got
continues to
more
do it.
life. It gives him life.
Yeah, the fact that at no point is he like, this is affecting me emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Like it's exhausting me. That he's never done that. That he still makes videos with that same kind of like hidden smirk is concerning. That at no point is he like tapping out on that content.
Yeah, exactly. It's my my very well attuned spidey sense tingled from him from day one. I saw his first video.
And I mean, I haven't seen enough of his videos until recently, until like seeing more, because the stuff that I would see would just be those, here's what men have said. And it's like, okay, that's what that is. But now seeing a lot of things being uncovered of messages that he has sent to people, conversations that he has had with people, and he's not walking the talk, as it were.
I mean, this is like he's even got dead eyes. Like you look at his eyes, and there's just nothing there when you look at his facial expression.
It's an act. It's an act.
And I'll show you actually if there was one bit specifically in the video where I was like, that is clearly faked, and I'll show you what I mean.
This channel is not about you, it's about these women.
And by the way, that's actually bollocks because he always makes a big thing about how he's trying to help men be different. So it's supposed to be about men and the way that we treat women. That's what it's supposed to be about. But that's why he's talking bollocks.
You're too caught up in your emotions.
That was it. Yeah, this is it.
Right there. The little frown.
Yeah. The upside down frown thing.
He does that a lot.
But watch how he does it, okay? Look at the delay between him finishing speaking and where the angry face comes up.
And the church music.
Like, see how long
I'm not even doing it justice here. I'm on 0.25. Let's see.
That was like a second. And the way that we treat women, he faked. And I'll show you what I mean.
This channel is not about you, it's about these women.
And by the way, that's actually bollocks because he always makes a big thing about how he's trying to help men be different. So it's supposed to be about men and the way that we treat women. That's what it's supposed to be about. But that's why he's talking bollocks.
You're too caught up in your emotions.
That was it. Yeah, this is it.
Right there. The little frown.
Yeah. The upside down frown thing.
He does that a lot.
But watch how he does it, okay? Look at the delay between him finishing speaking and where the angry face comes up. Like, see how long? That was like a second.
It's almost like he read a book about micro expressions, and then he was like, I gotta do it. Because and he does it a lot, almost after every read. If he's not shaking his head, he's doing the frown.
And his head shaking thing, it looks like he's trying to conceal smirks. So
yeah, it does.
So that first one there with the turned down mouth, it did feel very much like he's watched Lie to Me, and now he thinks that that's what micro expressions look like. So he's got to put it in every now and again.
He's got to make sure that his micro are a bit more macro so people see it.
Yeah,
because it's also not really. I mean, he does it almost after every comment that he reads. The first one, I think, if we go back to the beginning of the video, the first one he does is a little bit more aggressive. Like he's really working it. Because you think, especially, like, it's such a put on because it's not like he's reading them for the first time and having a genuine reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
He's already read them. He's cultivated them. He's compiled them. He knows what he's gonna read. Yeah. You know, the fact that I've tried to record videos without any like stoppages in the video, and that sometimes you gotta you fuck it up. You gotta go back and do it a couple of times. So this likely isn't his first take. So and even if it is, he's compiled that information. He knows exactly what he's gonna say. So he's had those reactions.
He's rehearsed it.
These are all rehearsed reactions. These are not natural.
You knew what you were signing up for. Now be quiet and let me finish.
That there, right? So yeah, he does the first thing, then he makes his voice all shaky deliberately, and then he conceals a smirk. Like
with his head down.
Yeah. And then watch his lips.
Finish. When you tell me
he conceals the smirk. On his left side, his mouth's going up.
He did it's in almost every video. Like there's a part of him. There's a part of him that enjoys it.
Yeah, totally. So he's curated these stories. He's already read them, and for example, with the agony aunts that we do in Jeeves or Sizzle, you haven't heard of them. Like you don't know what I'm delivering to you. So all of your reactions are genuine. So if somebody was to go through and watch how you react to those stories compared to how he reacts to his little porn collection there, I think people would see what the difference is in a genuine reaction compared to a faked one. And the fact that his fake reactions are so consistently the same all the way through. And he keeps repeating the same facial expressions. There's no diversity.
That's what I'm saying. When I came across this stuff and I'm sitting here going, hold on, I need to watch these from a different point of view without the confetti and the smoke. And as I was doing this is exactly what I was seeing. The same expressions, the same words. When you have the live questions and you answer them like you know something, but you really don't. And when you are able to listen, I don't have all the time in the world to post to TikTok and to Facebook and to YouTube and to Instagram and to all Twitter, and I don't have that time. I do see the stuff that, because I do my prep and I have my angels, I do see stuff that comes across. Just like yesterday morning, when it came to the fences being up at Solid Rock, I had messages as soon as I woke up. Pictures, videos, showing me the stuff. I made phone calls instead of worrying about spending an hour trying to put out a photo of a fence. Getting it from
diversity. And the last thing is he's rehearsed it, right? So any one of us, when we're going through our TikToks, we have fillers. We're like in and ahhing. Sometimes we have to stop and start, and there's a lot of jumbled up stuff in the TikTok. And so there's even the most trained person, you can see that if they haven't rehearsed it, there's just all of that natural just messiness in their speech. But here he doesn't stutter. He has no ums and ahs. It's all perfect cadence. very carefully curated all the way through and perfectly delivered. He has to do each one several times.
Especially if you, at the end, right? Like if you're just reading off something, you're just reading off something, right? Like when I read the Kick-Ass Facts, I read off the Kick-Ass Facts. It's right in front of me as his comments were. When he got to the end, if he was that upset, you would see the upset. You would see a stumble of words. You would see something. Unless he's a professional speaker by trade, you would have real emotion that comes through. But it was so like, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to point to the camera here and do that. Like, and he's not the only one, certainly, who does it. There are a lot of folks who do that because they cultivate that image. But it's a combination, isn't it, of everything? When you've practiced it that much, the genuineness of the emotion, it gets lost. Maybe the first time he did it, it was more realistic, but by the time he puts it out there, it's like exaggerated head shake, conceal smirk.
A good example would be, we probably haven't got the episode out yet, but I tell a sad story about a cat I found on the road.
Yes.
And on the day it happened, I was called you to try and tell you about it, but I couldn't get my words out and I was just crying. And then, pussy, I know, whatever. And then the next day, you're like, do you want to talk about it? And I was like, I don't think I actually can. And then when we did it on the podcast, I got through it fine. And there was no, so you could see
you were removed from it.
Yeah. And but there's no sign of that actually happening for him. So, it's time for the ad break.
I'm not saying you need to own as many pairs of glasses as I do, but I'm also not saying you need to own as many pairs of glasses as I do. Look at the selection of these frames. They are amazing. Head over to Zlul at the end of this episode, not now. Head over to Zlul. There is a link and promo code in the description of this video. Promo code GVIZL15 will save you 11% on orders over $50 and 15% on orders over $100. And just come on. Look how beautiful these frames are. I just can't get enough of them. Zlul.com.
The story behind this is that there was a woman who had seen one of his videos, commented on the video. He highlighted the comment and reached out to her. Shit ensued, which she gets into in this. And then she saw him a couple months later come up on an ad for Better Health, which is a mental health app. And then this is the letter she wrote then to the app about her experience with him.
Yeah, because I think it was that they met through TikTok in like 2021, and then he resurfaced and found her again later on LinkedIn. Was it?
I can't remember. We'll get through the story when we read through it, but it's her reaching out to that app to be like, this is the spokesperson that you have chosen.
Yeah,
to make them aware.
So Casey is writing to BetterHelp. She says, hello, Alon. My name is Casey. I'm 39, married for 16 years.
You know what you guys need to do? You guys need to share this out on all those Micah Miller groups. You need to share it out on all those Micah Miller groups so everybody else sees this too.
A teacher and mother to 5. I learned through some research that you are the founder of BetterHelp and wanted to reach out to make you aware of the behaviors of one of your sponsors on TikTok, Robbie Harvey. During this time, around spring, summer 21, I discovered Robbie Harvey's channel on TikTok and commented on a video of his. He highlighted my comment, praising my testimony of faithfulness despite 15 years. So at this point, I'll say that a lot of this is blocked out. That's just to preserve anonymity for Casey. And there's some stuff she doesn't want out there. So that meant a lot to me. To get the recognition from a man and the validation I was desperately seeking at the time. So I followed him back. I followed him and he immediately followed me back. And they began to message back and forth. He was asking her questions. So he then asked me if I would be willing to help him create a forum for abused women. He said he really needed my help and assistance with creating the forum and shared with me his usernames, passwords, etc. His following was growing close to 1 million around that time, and I felt honored to be asked that I really wanted to help women in similar situations as myself. He then asked me if I had an Instagram account and if he wanted to share a picture of his wife and their new house with me, so I shared my information with him. On Instagram, he sent sexy photos of his wife he had taken, told me and his wife told me that he and his wife talked openly about sex and that she was okay with him having women friends. He proceeded to ask me explicit questions about sex. If I thought of other men while I had sex with my husband, and if I thought of him when I had sex with my husband. I remember him asking that question and how it made me feel. I stared at the screen for a long time, and I can't really see what the rest of the words are, but it seems like she's changed the subject. And it made her feel very uncomfortable. She began to question what purpose he had in asking her the questions. He told me multiple times I had every reason to cheat on my husband, that he deserved blank, and that I should cheat secretly and leave him once my kids were older and left home. Grooming. I have morals and standards, blanked. I wouldn't ever consider cheating, blank. I distinctly remember telling this to Robbie. He told me that I'd easily be able to find another man, blank. I shared my experience with a close friend shortly after my last conversation with Robbie, and they confirmed that he wasn't a good person to talk with. That's a good friend. I trusted my gut and decided then to block his account from mine on TikTok. I felt safe from him until a few months ago when an ad from your company had him appearing, showed on my social media feed. It was terrifying for me to see someone who took advantage of my situation promoting counseling services. It was through individual counseling that I was able to recognize how Robbie used the vulnerability, elicit his grooming behaviors towards me to make me feel special so that he could ask explicit sexual questions he had. Yep. I hope my message prompts BetterHelp to take a good look at the individuals they choose to sponsor, especially when it involves sensitive topics in mental health. As I've come to learn, you really do not know someone's true intentions or moral compass from a few 1-minute videos they share on TikTok. My goal here isn't to publicly shame Mr. Harvey, but to hold him accountable for his actions and hopefully protect the abused women he claims to support from the wolf himself in sheep's clothing. And I just want to say quick that we got this from a TikTok account. And I'll put her, it's not Casey's account, but I'll put her handle in the description because she's really good.
She shared it with, Casey shared it with that TikTok account, and that TikToker got explicit permission to share it, and everything that was redacted at Casey's request.
Yeah, because it's, because it's so hard to find good so-called coaches. Especially on TikTok, and there's a lot of them. And then this woman specializes in basically abusive partners, like narcissists and all that stuff. Because narc is something that's very misused. But this creator uses it very well. I think her name's Geneva. She knows what she's talking about. She's one of the few on there that actually does talk about the stuff properly. So I'll link her in the description because she is worth watching.
That's what we told you in the beginning. We showed you all those screenshots.
And now what's interesting is that even with videos like Geneva's, who have shared this with Casey's story, and there have been other people who've shared screenshots of conversations of text exchanges with Robbie, so it's clearly his. There are still a ton of women who are like, leave him alone. He's one of the good ones. And he's done a really good job of pulling the wool over people's eyes and fooling them into thinking that he's on women's side.
And then that's the thing, is that a lot of this stuff out there, in a lot of these cases, it's hearsay. You don't know what's doctored and what's not. But no, this stuff is all legit.
There's screenshots of text exchanges.
Yeah, but they're from verified sources, basically.
There was one I saw, went back and forth, where he was when I talked about the $20,000 in June, he was sharing with somebody how much he was making from the different platforms. It's if your intent is really to be helpful, then you're not look at me, look at all the money I'm making.
Exactly. And then you would be sending some of that money, spreading it around a bit to help other creators and to help people in need and stuff.
Or people put it to, I mean, he's saying that it's going to help with his wife's cancer treatments, which I'm sure, but if you really wanted to help these women's groups and these women's support groups, then divert some of the funds to those groups. If you're making $20,000 in a month,
that's crazy.
Some of it, at least.
I make $1,000 a month,
and give it out.
What happened to Casey there? That is textbook grooming. That You could put that in a fucking textbook. You know.
You should leave your husband. You're young and attractive. You can find another man. You should be cheating on him. Are you thinking about me when you're with your husband? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. He is dodgy. Fucking dodgy. He is. And then this is the thing, is that the reason why he has so many followers and he has so many women even now sticking up for him in the face of all evidence is because he is an abusive man. And this is what they do to women. They do it to other men too, but women are the main targets.
It's like he just found a different avenue for it. Like maybe his tactics before weren't working so much, or it wasn't as being as successful. So this is a different avenue.
Not. You guys, listen, you guys, what they're saying, this video was from a year ago. This is before Micah even passed. The 20,000 is not for the Francis family. This video was from July 11th, 2023. It's before Micah even passed away. That $20,000 is not for Micah's family. This is before. This is before July 11th, 2023.
Maybe it was legit. Maybe it started off legit, and then it just gave him that sense of like.
That's just. Listen, imagine now. This is a year. This is a year ago. Imagine now. Imagine now. Because how many subs a year ago did he have? Think about it. Now hey, I need your super chats to answer your questions. Bling, 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 bling. He's on all these platforms. I just told you. I ain't got that. I'm not sitting at a fucking computer desk. You know, I got other shit that I need to do out here. I don't have time to sit there and go, ooh, cool. Now I can post this to TikTok and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And, oh, okay, no, I'm actually busy doing shit. Bling, 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 bling.
He relapsed into his old ways.
Perhaps, right? Like he's got this like, oh, this is the response I'm getting from women is making me feel really good. I can probably take advantage of this. Yeah. And if he's just a self-diagnosed narcissist and he hasn't actually received any sort of counseling or therapy for any issues that he does have, then he's not going to recognize that he's getting off on it. He's going to think he's doing good works because he's getting this message out there.
Yeah. Oh. And then all of these people are basically like validating him then basically. And they're going to keep throwing money at him. It makes me fucking sick, to be honest.
And then I didn't see the apology videos he put out, but apparently he put out an apology video for his I have a question for you women, which is always nice language. And then apparently that was deleted. And then he put out another apology video and that was also deleted. So he's not even like he's so good at fake rage, but he's not good at a genuine apology.
Yeah. And he would have done better if he brought a ukulele
I didn't mean it that way. Sorry you took it that way.
He's just pulled the wool over so many people's eyes, and it makes me sick that actually I'll tell you, it really fucking pisses me off and frustrates me that my account is throttled. I called this out months ago. I said what he was like, and it doesn't go anywhere. And then all of these people are getting abused by this man now because nobody fucking listened. And it upsets me. Try to warn people about it.
Well, I think that's what it always takes, right? Like if we think back to a lot of these TikTok dramas, when one person calls out a large creator, all the people jump in and support that large creator until more and more people start giving evidence, right? Like it takes one to kind of get the ball rolling, but that first one is always going to be vilified because how come you're seeing it and nobody else is seeing it until other people now you see
See, that's why I'm telling you guys it's going to be coming. This is exactly what's going to fucking happen. Watch. But it doesn't matter.
Comments and they're like, he was always janky at the beginning. I never felt. Now people are saying
people will make shit up about me out there.
But they weren't.
People will make shit up about me out there. They'll say I said things I didn't say. They'll say, you guys know you all spend all day with me every freaking day. You guys know who we are, what we're about. You know who I am, what I'm about. Not only support, but out there. They're going to be out there too. going into other people's chats because I ain't gonna see it. They're gonna be going in other people's chats, spreading all this BS. Maybe Kylie, I don't know.
Saying
We'll
it
see.
then. They're saying
exactly.
it now. Because a lot of people, I mean, it's that, like you said, he's the kind of man who doesn't want to stick up or confront other men. But a lot of people are the same. You don't want to say that thing because then people are going to jump on you. So you don't want to be jumped on. So you just leave it until more voices are being heard. And then you're like, okay, I can add mine to the mix now because it's safer.
Yeah.
We saw it once in that way back when I did a video about social experiments. And there's that one where they have a person in a room and smoke starts filtering through the door. One person is the only non-actor.
Yeah.
Everybody else pretends that they're not noticing the smoke. So the person who is seeing the smoke is just kind of like, I guess it's okay, when you should be yelling fire. Nobody wants to be the first one to yell fire.
Yeah. Look, at least yell smoke.
Yeah.
Smoking
was,
confetti.
Yeah, so I remembered his apology video. Basically, he said it got lots of feedback from people and stuff. And then, bearing in mind, in that video, he was talking to women. And then the only people in his first apology video whose clips he showed was other men. He didn't show a single woman in there.
Really? Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I didn't see that video.
You can't get it
But
back.
I mean, the irony of someone who says they're a self-proclaimed, self-diagnosed narcissist having their username the Robbie Harvey. But I'm cured. I'm cured.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I wonder who's going to be next. I wonder who's going to get called out next. Because it only ever happens. They have to step out of line and do something really heinous. And I think that was one of the issues last time was because I was calling him out in relation to how he speaks to men and the Stephen Crowder abusing his wife situation. And because of where that was in the zeitgeist, it's not the same as what happened here.
No, I think yours kind of got lost in the shuffle and got conflated with Stephen Crowder. So it stopped being about Robbie Harvey and more about Stephen Crowder. So I think that was just the timing of that didn't land the way
And this
it
is
could
more
have if it were
serious.
now.
And then what he did this time was a lot more serious and actually shows how abusive he is.
I think it took this because up until now, a lot of it has been just reading trauma.
Yeah.
So you didn't really, unless you were really paying attention to his facial expressions, to like really giving thought to, this isn't the first time he's reading these things. So why is he being so fake emotion? Once you get through that and then you start to then his language and how he's like, question for you women. And what I said to my wife is, do you understand? Just the language that he still uses. And then says, it's okay to snap. It's okay to snap at your partner. It's like, not that way.
Yeah.
There's a right way and a wrong way to snap. And there's also a right way and a wrong way to get through it, because he never said what he did was wrong. He never apologized for what he did. He said, no, that was fine because I snapped. What matters is how I make up for it afterwards. So I'll love bomb her after so she forgets that I was a piece of shit before.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah. It's, yeah. So I think it takes something very significant like that for people to notice, to get them called out. And then there's like a critical mass of people have to notice it at the same time. And then there's enough people then talking about it. The algorithm goes, oh, there's something here, and then pushes all the content out.
It's true, because there's a lot of people that I'm seeing in comments of other videos that are like, I've never even heard of him until now. So I went and watched some of his videos and holy shit. So I think the algorithm curated him to the people who would be receptive to that content. And then it just took that one video to get out where he used that language. And it was just kind of like, what's this all about?
And I think one of the things that I'm struggling to get it related to people in this way is because I don't like calling out individual people, right? Because I hate it when Tizzy Ent does it, for example. But he's another one like Robbie Harvey. He's exactly the same. But
we're also not doxing.
Yeah, exactly. And
calling on the World Wide Web to like find this person because they were shitty.
Yeah. And then so I just talk in general, like, so I'd be talking to people about the kind of stuff that we were speaking about today, like how to spot the charlatans online. But then without somebody to
the charlatans, I've never heard that before.
It's very hard to get people to tune into the video so that I can actually warn you about people like Robbie Harvey, like, because
Thank you, Deb. Thank you.
And then,
everybody.
so, okay, so I mean, we don't want to be guilty of doing the same thing he does, and we've given up those red flags, right? He's not a member of that group. He's not offering any solutions. Like, those are the things that we need to be on the watch out for. If somebody is calling something out because there are other people who do it, but they do it in a way that's not so exploitive. Like, this just feels like he's exploiting these women's experiences.
Yeah.
And he's not calling attention to it. He's just exploiting it.
And I think that's the thing, is that because there are other people that do talk about it, like, say, Big Bro Bear, he does really good content. People should check him out. Very caring guy. And he talks about all manner of things. And so Robbie Harvey specifically is laser focused on, it's almost like a special interest level of focus, that he's on abused and battered women, right? That's all he is. But then Big Bro Bear will talk about all forms of abuse, no matter what your demographic group is. Yeah. He'll spend time on each aspect of it.
And when he does it, he also will call out, you see that? This is the behavior they're demonstrating. This is what they're doing. He will break down those videos where he's just like, guys, look at this I found. Like, it just feels like he's just, it's trauma porn.
Yeah. And then again, like, Big Bro Bear being a good example of how to do it positively, is that he obviously has real compassion. He's been through shit himself. Like, he's been a victim. And he's offering solutions, like, we can combat it by doing X, Y, and Z.
And he got the professional credentials to back it up. And it's less for him about being an ally as it is for being an advocate.
Yeah.
And he's trying to affect change, not just pat people on the back and say, like, I know that's too bad for you.
Exactly. And he doesn't ask people to send in their stories so he can milk it for trauma porn and get 20 grand a month out of it. No, one of the things he does do is he encourages people to make their own videos and either write in the comments their experiences or stitch his video with your experiences. I've done that on a couple of his, just because, and then he's bringing people out and centering them as part of the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, he starts all of his videos being like, and share, because it helps. It helps here to get that message out there. Yeah. Where that's not the case with the Robbie Harvey.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because somebody with a platform that size could be doing some good. He could be affecting change if he was sincere in what he was trying to accomplish. I think he's just trying to make himself feel better. He's trying to make himself feel like, I was bad, but I was probably never this bad. I never said things this shitty. So it's just about making himself feel. Oh, he said he's making himself feel better about not being the type of guy who would assault his wife when she gets home from the hospital after a miscarriage. Right? Like, I'm a piece of shit, but this guy's a bigger piece of shit. So
yeah. Although to everybody else in society who isn't that way at all, we see them all as the same thing. Equally shitty, no matter what they do. And that's the bit he can't quite grasp.
No. And then he also tries to make, when he had in, I think, a bit of his apology video, I think it was an apology video, he was like, I've talked to a lot of women for hours.
Yeah.
Trying to make it sound like, see, they're willing to talk to me. But a couple of the women he tagged, he didn't talk to.
Yeah, that was the other thing, yeah. Yeah, there was a few feminist creators in that I actually follow. They're really good. Yep.
And then they were making videos being like, you tagged me? You didn't talk to me. But he tagged big accounts because if the big accounts are backing him up, then, he's okay then.
Yeah, exactly. So he's trying to win the popularity contest. And this is what I mean. Like, it's the collection of all of these red flags together in this specific order and, in this sort of layout. That's why he's
and I think it just took some time to unfold. It took time to put all the pieces together. You've got to get some diversity in the content, and the fact that it's just the same over and over and over again and it's not wearing on him mentally that's a red flag for me.
Yeah, it's super concerning. Like, I mean, again, this is just by way of comparison, just because I know myself more than I know other people. But like, we've known each other for about a year and a half now. And there's been a few times where I've been going through the sex offender stuff. And even though I'm used to it and I'm practiced at it and I've been through it a lot, I even message you sometimes like, I need a break. And I'll take a couple of weeks break off TikTok just because it's so depressing.
And there are times like, because we do that what the fuck segment, so I spend a lot of time in some like shady subreddits to get content for that. And after a little bit, I'm like, I can't do it anymore. Like I need to just like watch some happy cartoons and do whatever, because it does start to wear on you if you internalize that. But if you are so far removed from that content that it doesn't affect you, then it's not genuine concern, it's not sincere, it's not empathy that you're expressing. It's just it's an act.
Because actual real emotions that you really feel and that you show to the world, they're energy draining. It does exhaust you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like being angry all the time, or but like the range of emotion that he pretended to have in that video earlier is that if he was like that every single time he read those messages, he'd be exhausted after reading 5 or 6. He wouldn't be able to keep doing it.
No, but he does. He puts it all out there. I'm curious to see how this unfolds.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes, and whether like what's his strategy going to be for trying to so-called redeem himself.
Because his damage control hasn't helped so far, because he made 2 apology videos and they've both been since deleted as far as I know. And even the apology videos are getting him more like, the fuck is this, than the original videos. Yeah.
And it's because the genie's out the bottle now. Because it's different to how when other creators make a mistake and then people call them out and everyone hate for a while, but they come back after a few weeks, they do a faux apology, and then carry on with their lives. But it's to do with this sort of stuff, and someone's so abusive, then you can't put the genie back in that bottle. Like this you, like who you are, and erase any of that.
And a lot of now, anything he does from this point forward is going to be really seen under a different than it was before. Like there are some people, they fuck up. It's a sincere apology. They move on. They don't demonstrate those same behaviors. But because it wasn't such a pattern of behavior, people are like, okay, you made his way forward is to change his entire platform, because he can't continue with the way with what he's been doing. He can't just be like, mea culpa, let's read some shit that mend the lives. Path is shown to be a false path.
Yeah. I'm actually wondering if he's going to do like a complete 180, and then he's going to do all the same things, but about men being abused by their
Here's shitty things women have said to their men.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I could see this. If I had a prediction, it would be that this would just fuel his abuse, because it'll be like, fuck, I try to do these things as women. It's just going to fully 180 it.
And that is something that a lot of people have expressed concern about, is like, is wife actually okay? Is again, like, there's no allegedly in this. He's admitted to being an abusive husband.
It's interesting also the path that he took, because in something that I saw, he said that his wife encouraged him, because he was having a hard time dealing with his wife's cancer diagnosis. So she encouraged him, like, get it out, be creative, do something with it. And what he chose to do with it was find shitty things men had said about their wives when they got sick. Like that's a weird path to take. That like from I'm struggling to deal with you being sick to, oh, here's some really shitty things men have said to their wives when they were sick. Like that leap is an unusual route to take. Like you'd think his platform would either be on the opposite side of like, I need to do something creative and light because what's happening at home is so dark, or it would be, help me get through this, because I've seen a lot of creators who were dealing with a sick partner, and their videos are more like, these are the emotions I'm feeling today. This is what we're doing today. This is what's happening. But he just went from like that circuitous route that it took him to get there is really confusing to me.
Well, I think it's what you said earlier on in the episode. I think now you've explained it like that, I actually think you're bang on the money, is that these might be things that he wants to say. These are things that he wants to do. And then so by reading them, he's living vicariously through these abusive men because he just wants to slap his fucking wife because she won't get better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have
He
you
was an
even
abusive
tried
man.
not being sick?
Can we get some alkaline water here?
Yeah.
Because it is a weird, like now that I'd never thought of it in those terms before, but now that I'm thinking of like his wife was like, do something creative, probably more of a like, fuck off, I can't deal with you right now, I got my own shit going on.
Yeah.
And his mind went to shitty things men have said. Like that's a weird leap.
You have to have a very strange perspective on reality of where he's at the time in order to link those two things.
Like, I'm wondering if maybe he said some shitty shit to his wife and she was like, I can't believe he said that to me. And then he was like, I'm sure other men say the same thing. And maybe it's like,
Yeah, I
maybe
looked it up and then
it was meant to be his gotcha to her because I can't imagine that being where you go with it.
the other thing I find quite odd, right? And I've seen people talk about these in isolation, like the bad stuff he says and the good stuff he said. But people, I think we need to link them a bit more explicitly. So when he says about the stuff that the shitty things that men say to their wives, but the stuff that he thinks are good things to say to and about your wife is fucking weird.
Yeah, he's making videos about how his wife likes sex. Like she's actively going through cancer treatments and he's talking about their sex life.
Yeah.
Like, is that, what's that supposed to be? Like, how are we supposed to respond to that?
Yeah, like, and he thinks that that is a positive thing to say about your wife, who not only is it fucking personal between your wife, and I'm pretty sure 3 million people knowing about it, but secondly, she's got fucking cancer. I don't think she's putting out much at the moment, you know? And like, why
Which is probably why he's trying to encourage other women to cheat.
Yeah, so that he can get his end away. So it's fucking
It's gross.
It is weird. And then the thing is as well, like in what saying about how, encouraging her, like, oh, you could do better, you could cheat. It would be so, and like the way he's setting her up through the conversation, building it up gradually, like starting off with, oh, so when you have sex with your husband, do you think about other men? You know, and like build it up with
Do you
that.
think about me?
That?
Yeah.
Should you be thinking about me?
Who
You
even
could get
asked
other
that?
men.
Yeah. And then
Who
he's
even
kind of like
asked
trying to get her to think of him as that other guy that she could possibly have if she wanted.
Yeah, it's he's really building that layering of are you thinking about other men? And then laying that foundation of maybe she will be thinking about other men and then putting himself into that scenario.
Yeah.
And then sidetrack, you should have an affair.
Yeah, and I tell you what, like another thing of just from a guy's perspective of him talking about that. Okay, so I find it weird that he is thinking about having sex with other women when his wife has cancer, right? I find that really grotesque, and that he's trying to encourage other women to cheat on their partners, whether with him or not, you know, that is a bit of speculation, but we're pretty sure. And he's still he's thinking actively about pursuing sex with other women while his wife is so ill. I mean, I remember like when my partner had that the tumor on her parotid gland, and after she had the operation, she was wiped out for 2 weeks. I had to do night shifts at work, and then during the day I had to like look after her and prepare her food and everything, and I was getting like 4 hours sleep a day. The last thing on my fucking mind was shagging other women.
Exactly.
I had nothing sexual in my body at the time. It was.
And I'm wondering like what the timing is. Like, did he, again, I don't know enough about like his backstory, but when did he stop being an abusive partner? Was it when his wife got sick? Or did he already stop before that? And then his wife got sick and he's like, I got to help other women or other men. Like the timing is
it's very odd.
Question mark.
Like, what was the catalyst, as you say? Like, there must have been an incident or something where he was like, I'm better now. So, you know, and then kind of going through that process, because like a lot of the time, abusive men, I don't think realize that they're abusive. Like they think their behavior is acceptable and that they're not abusive.
Because nobody wants to be abusive. I don't think anybody plans to be abusive.
No.
You just are. And then
you're a piece of shit and you don't realize you are because you're ignorant that you are.
Until somebody calls it out, somebody tells you, somebody makes you have a, that reckoning of this is who you are.
And then there's even a lot of discussions going on now. This is why I would encourage any blokes listening to this just to go follow some feminist accounts and stuff, because some things that you don't think are abusive actually are. We've all been there, like accidentally to people in different and to different levels of extremes. But it's until you hear the other perspective that you realize what you're doing. I would say go listen to some men's accounts, but it's quite hard finding any that actually talk about men's issues properly, and they're all about women.
That is facts. So we'll get to see how Robbie unfolds over the next little while, and
it's going to be exciting.
See what happens.
Great episode. Here's the link again. Definitely go show them some love. Go sub if you're not sub already. I think they're only at 500, so get them to 1K. Get them to 1K. What a great show. And a great episode, and something that I wanted to share with you guys. Like I said, I was going through prep a few weeks ago. I came across a couple videos. I was like, holy crap. Last few weeks, I'm sitting here going through these videos as I'm watching, because I used to watch too. I used to have the confetti in front of my face. I used to watch too. And then I saw this, and then I was like, ooh, I need to look at this in a different way. I started everything that was being said in front of my face on screen. We'll have episode 3 coming up on Saturday. We got another show tonight covering more Micah stuff. Definitely come hang out. The notifications are already out there. I'll see you guys tonight. Thank you so much for being members. Appreciate you. Today with some special guests. Appreciate you. See you then.
Can I let a supervisor know that I have a case report with an arrest attached?